and you keep getting signs from the world that you're on the right path. I'm losing weight. I'm gaining friends. My relationship is stronger. But it's not the path I thought in my head. I thought I was gonna lose weight in a week, but it's been 2 weeks. What the fuck? I gotta get off this path. And the moment you get off that path, you're fucking lost. Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Agnelli. Here's my co-host, Peter Price.
Yep.
And this is a boys-only episode.
Yeah.
As always, guys, thank you for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. If you're on YouTube, this is a new thing I'm going to throw in there. Hit that notification button. So every time we post a podcast, you guys get notified of it, just to remind you that a new podcast is out.
And while you're clicking buttons, hit the like button.
Just hit the like button, too.
You know?
And throw a comment in there. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
But it's something that I do with me supporting podcasts and channels on YouTube. I like to just hit a notification button so I get notified whenever they post. So I jump on that video and I watch it. So I wanted to throw that in there, guys. Again, thank you for your continuous support. It means the world to us. And for the first part of this Boys Only episode, we're kind of getting to give you an update on things. And as far as for myself, this dates all the way back to like the Matt Halpin episode. Shout out Matt Halpin. But in December of last year, December of 2021, I kind of decided that I wanted to change my body. Now, you guys know my story if you have listened to any podcast with me talking about that, but I've dealt with weight my whole life, and I'm not going to dive into that whole subject right now. But, I was big, then fit, then big, and for the last 4 years, I've been fighting it. But over the course of those last 4 years, and especially with meeting Paige, I always told myself, when I walk down my wedding aisle, I'm going to feel extremely comfortable in my own skin. I'm gonna feel sexy, look good, feel good, that whole vibe. And now with being engaged, and it was December of last year, I said, holy shit, I can't keep pushing this back because I'm going to blink my eyes and my wedding's going to be here, and it's just going to be another excuse to be in the position I'm in. In my life at then, and even to this point now, when you're in a relationship and you're comfortable and this and that, there's no one like telling you or you feeling like I need to be a certain way to be loved or judged correctly. But internally, and that's what it really dives down to, is I knew that I could be more to this world physically, but I also know that physical health affects your mental stability as well. So December, I decided to kind of dive down this path of consistently working out. Fast forward to February, I decided to, in the middle of March, do 75 hard. I looked at my calendar, and I had about 90 days from one vacation to my bachelor party. And I said, okay, on top of me working out and my nutrition was semi-dialed in, I'm going to do 75 hard again for the second time. And I'm really going to do it with intention this time, because there's multiple ways of doing it. You could complete something, or you could do something with complete intention to try to squeeze the most juice out of it as possible. So I did that. Over the course of January, February, I probably lost a total of 10 pounds, which was decent, but I was still like 40 pounds away from my mark. And then 75 hard started. So 75 hard started, I believe, like March 20th. Don't quote me on that, but I felt this like weird calming presence when I started it, like this was my purpose again. Last time I did 75 hard last year, beginning of 2021, I felt like I needed to do it, whereas this time I felt like I got to do it. I felt like I was grateful for doing it and grateful for changing my body. It was just a whole different perspective. And day by day went by, and I was just kind of in this consistent routine, and it wasn't a burden. It was actually propelling my life, and I saw that in real time. And day by day went by, I kept saw my body change, and I kept feeling better. And the point of this whole first segment I want to talk about is, like, right now in my life, in the position I'm in, I still physically, on numbers, I still have about 15 pounds I want to lose. But the mental effect that this has had on me has just been immense. I texted Pete the other night, and I said, dude, this is the best I've felt, like, in my life, as far as I want to set out to something, and in my bones I could feel that I could do anything. That I feel like this superhuman power and this innate ability to just achieve anything I want to achieve. And it's just such a surreal vibe I'm in right now. The day by days go by, and like, again, I'll finish 75 hard and have about another 2 weeks until my bachelor party, and I'm just gonna do fucking 90 days because of how great I feel right now. And like, if something's not broke, don't fix it. And you know, when I look back at all the best times of my life, it was when I was the most disciplined in what I wanted to achieve. For some reason, our society puts this definition of like happiness as like Corona on the beach or vacation or this or that. But why can't happiness be fucking grinding every day towards what you want to be? And I think that I want to keep reiterating that to people, because sometimes when you set out on a goal, or you tell your friends, I can't go there, or you tell your mom, I can't eat cake at birthday, or this and that, you feel like this pressure to try to please them based off of these unwritten rules in society. Whereas to me, I find that for my happiness internally, it's ultimately driving towards a goal every single day, and then having those moments to take that gas off the pedal. But it's intentional moments, like Marshall Morgan said on his podcast. You know, it's making the decision to say, okay, today I'm resting a little bit. I'm still doing 75 hard on that day, but today, you know, I'm not going to kill myself in the gym. Today, you know, I'm not going to have a cheat meal, but I'm going to have a little bit more calories in my system, so I have a little bit more energy. So it's all intentional decisions you're making. You're not feeling pressure from the external. And that was kind of the biggest thing I wanted to note on today, is like, ultimately right now in my happiness and my maturity and wisdom level, I'm not saying it's crazy. I have so much more to learn and fail and do in life. I'm only 26 years old, but what I've so innately realized over this past time is my internal happiness and what that means to me. Everything else around that is full circle, and everything else around that, for instance, right? If I'm content and happy with my process in life, no one's words can affect that, right? If I'm happy and content with my purpose and going down a journey or a road, and I know in my heart that that's the right thing to do, someone saying, well, why are you doing that? Or I don't know if that's going to work out. That doesn't affect you, because you truly know what it's like. You know, if you look at your face in the morning at the bathroom when you're brushing your teeth, and it's a clear face, you don't see a pimple or anything, but you're walking down the street 10 minutes later and someone says, wow, that's a huge ass pimple on your face. And you say, no, there's not, because you just saw your face and you believe that. Now, why, when we wake up in the morning and we have a dream or goal, 10 minutes later when we get told that that's not true, we believe it, and we get affected by that. The book I'm reading right now is The Power of Thinking Big, and what the book premise, the premise behind it is just belief truly in yourself. Because when you have that internal belief, nothing external can affect you. Words, judgments, opinions, they don't fucking affect you at all. And that's that superhuman feeling of like, ultimately, when I say I want to set out and do something, 99% of the time, in my opinion, people's paths get swayed by the external. It's someone saying this or the world doing this. And external, too, is also physical things, right? So today I'm going to the gym twice, right? If you want to talk about a micro day, I got to go to the gym twice. I got to drink water. I got to have no cheat meals, no alcohol, right? All this shit. I got to read. If I drive to work in that day and my tire pops, right, and I got to just throw a wrench into everything that I have to do that day, and that external affects me, my whole day's thrown off. But now that I know that that's happened and everything else is internal, so the way I decide to react to this is going to ultimately affect the rest of my day. Now it's complete ownership on me, and I act accordingly. So I go right from there. I drop my car off at the shop. They put a new tire on it. I Uber from there to work with my briefcase. I read my book, and my day's back to normal, right? So it's these split-second decisions where ultimately that micro thing, like your tire popping on the way to work, you being sad, you sit at the tire shop all day, you not working out twice, you now are not doing 75 hard, you lose that day. That wave turns into you quitting 75 hard, which turns into your life changing around. So sometimes these little micro things that happen, the wave of that is so much bigger than you think it is. You know, tsunami starts off with a little ripple, and then 100 miles down, it's a fucking 200-foot wave. So you have to audit these little things that happen in your days and think, you know, this shit's happening to me, but ultimately I happen to everything else. So everything external, and I'll keep reiterating this, shit happens. People say things, intentions are wrong, but the way you react to them is ultimately always on yourself. we're also dealt this hand in life, where we're dealt this hand by God or the universe or wherever it is, where that's what it is, right? You could ultimately accept that hand and now play with those cards, or you could fucking cry about it and be upset about the hand you're dealt and sit back your entire life and think, why are these things happening to me? Right? Why is the world happening to me? Why did I lose that job? Why did I not get that promotion? Why did that girl not like me? You know, that's all external shit. Internally is saying, okay, I'm dealt this hand. Now I'm going to play this motherfucker to the best of its abilities. I was dealt a body where I was meant to be 350 fucking pounds. I was meant to be obese. I was meant to be this blob into society where I had a 2.4 GPA exiting high school. I dropped out of college. I was fat. Are you fucking kidding me? That is my hand. And I could sit back and I could say, wow, man, this shit's happening to me, man. The world fucking sucks. Yeah, it does suck. But you know what also sucks is when you take that and you believe it. But when you take that and you believe that your purpose and your mission is so much more, that shit is minuscule. Also, another parallel to that is the devil and the angel on your shoulder, the boss and the bitch voice. And you have to realize that a quote I said to you a few weeks ago that resonated with me so much, I saw it online, is this couple just got married. The pastor, just when the couple walked back down the aisle, they just kissed, everyone's cheering, pulls them off to the side and says, I got to say something to you. He goes, this is the happiest moment of your life. You guys are incredibly in love, and I'm so happy for you to relish in this. But realize that over the course of the next few months, it's probably going to be some of the hardest times in your life. Because when you're happiest in life is when the devil or the bitch voice or whatever it is calibrating how they're going to attack you. So in the good times, right, when the times that the bitch voice is in the closet in a fetal position, like, fuck, man, this kid's doing really good right now. He's scheming. He's writing down things, pop his tire, all right, for a marriage, you know, coworkers into him, Instagram likes. What could I think of that I could throw into this couple and they're going to get thrown off, right? What's a little thing? Mm-hmm. And then day by day, you'll see these little things pop up. And day by day, when these little things pop up, you'll start to say, holy fuck, there he is. And if you have realization of that little bitch in the corner of the closet who's trying to throw you off your path no longer has a voice, right? So if I'm on a diet and that devil voice has been for 51 days, like I'm 51 days in a 75 hard right now, and he's sitting there, he's just scheming. He's like, fuck, what could I throw at this kid now to really throw him off? All right, man, I put Oreos in the cabinet 2 months ago. He didn't bite on that, but let's remind him of that. So at 10 p.m. tonight, he's going to look in the cabinet and see Oreos. So when that night comes around, 10 p.m., I'm hungry as fuck, man. I'm starving. I got to wake up at 5 a.m. the next morning. I open the cabinet, and there's Oreos staring there right at me. I think to myself, wow, you thought you had me this time, motherfucker. I close that cabinet and I go to bed. Right? So it's realizing this shit in real time that when you're on an amazing path, there's going to be people and things that happen in the universe that are going to try to tear you down. And you have to realize in real time that shit's happening for you to either break from your path or get stronger in it. Because when I closed that cabinet door that night, when I said no to those Oreos, boy, I felt juicy because I knew that I just said no to that devil. I punched him in the face. I pushed him back in the closet. And now he's fucking crying. Mm-hmm. Now he's got to scheme up another thing 2 days from now to throw at me. Now my boss voice is winning. Mm-hmm. Now my boss voice I just gave steroids to because I just went further down that path. Mm-hmm. So every single day and every single action you do, you're going to be given choices. That devil voice, that bitch voice loves comfort. He loves chilling. He loves you to be just a blob of shit. Right? Be a normal person. Don't go down that avenue. Just be comfortable. And my thing to you is find that uncomfortability, find that purpose within your heart and follow that shit. It's going to be hard. You're going to fail, right? But all these things that are thrown at you is simply the devil trying to say, nah, motherfucker, you thought you was slick. I had your ass, bro. I had your ass 2 months ago. For me, he had my ass for 4 years as the boss voice was chilling in the closet just like he is now. He was like, fuck, bro, I tried to throw you a diet plan. I tried to throw you a great girl. I tried to throw you your family recommending. I tried to throw you a random stranger or one of my workers saying, well, gordo, meaning fat. And that was the reality. He's like, I tried to throw him all these hints and he didn't listen. So what the fuck else I could do? Mm-hmm. All right, maybe 75 hard. And look where we are now. So these little hints, these little of the 76,000 thoughts you have in your brain a day, they mean something. And every time you get one and you analyze it, realize what it's coming from and the source of it. And when you divide those sources into 2 columns, ultimately try to go with the boss and the good angel voice every time, because that's going to be the path that you're meant to go down. And
it may not be like the satisfying answer at the time, but I think longevity-wise, you feel better when you make the right choice. You know, there might, like, eating the Oreos would have made you feel good for a millisecond, but not eating the Oreos has made you feel good for days after that, knowing that you made the right choice.
Correct. And my thing with this 75 hard is I say it all the time on like my Instagram stories, is like day by day and step by step, meaning like all I focus on is today. I have a calendar and shit for events in the future, but all I focus on when I wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. is today. And when all you focus on is today, the game slows down because these little voices aren't as fast, right? When you're focused on the next 3 months, those 76,000 thoughts become so much more.
It's a lot of voices.
It's a lot of voices.
Yeah.
But when I focus on my 7 tasks I got to do today, my work, my wife, my best friends, and that's it.
Right.
That is it. And when you just focus on those little micro things, things become clear, right? When you wipe the fog off your glasses, you're like, okay, this shit isn't that complicated. I got to work out for 45 minutes. That's a brisk walk, bro. Why are you fucking getting anxiety about that? That's not something to get anxiety about. Reading 10 pages, that takes 20 minutes. That's awesome, bro. You get to get that knowledge. That's gratitude right there. So when you slow things down and you realize that not this shit's half as bad as you think it is in your head, and you just take it breath by breath and minute by minute, all this shit is possible, man. These people that you idolize, these people that you look up to, they simply have an instinctive belief in themselves. They believe that they could conquer anything they want to do. And that's why you idolize them. You have the conviction in them. So why can't you have the conviction in yourself? These people don't have a gene or a sixth sense or anything like that that's superhuman. They simply have this confidence that they could do anything in the world they want to.
And I think, like, from listening to everything you've just said, like, the follow-up that I always want to interject with after, like, almost every point you make is you're just doing the things that you say you're going to do.
That's it.
And I think that is the characteristic that those successful people a lot of the times have. It's not a gene. It's not, like, something that you're born with. They've conditioned themselves that when they set their mind to something, they're going to do that.
Correct.
Regardless. And they're not doing it for someone else. They're not doing it to impress anyone. They're doing it for themselves because they know that that's what they need to do to get the goals that they want. And when you can train and condition yourself to be a person that follows through on everything you say you're going to do for yourself, that is like that superpower. That's that competitive advantage that a lot of people are missing. And it's that same thing that's being applied when your tire pops on your 50th day of 75 hard. There's 2 types of people. That tire's going to pop, and they're going to go, well, this throws a wrench in my entire day. I have to deal with this right now. And like you said, you're going to sit at Tire Kingdom for the entire day, use that as an excuse to not have to follow through on the rest of your goals. But if you're a person that says you're going to do something at the beginning of the day, and there's no straying away from that list of objectives, you're going to figure out a way to get it done.
You have to figure it out. And to your point you just made, back integrated to what I was just talking about, right? These things that we say we're going to do, 99% of the time, that's the boss voice and that's the productive stuff. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning tomorrow, go to the gym, right? You say that at 9 p.m. At night before you go to bed, I'm going to do it. I set my 5 alarms. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go. You wake up, that first alarm goes off. It's 4:55 in bed. That fan's rolling. You're nice and comfortable and warm.
You've got a choice.
And you got a choice, and that devil's gonna say, boy, that pillow's nice, man. For some reason, you always wake up a little more tired than when you go to bed, man. You had a long night last night. Your puppy just got neutered, man. She's been up all night whining. You've been doing this for so long. Take a rest day, yo.
Yep.
Take a rest day. You deserve a cheat meal, right? And he throws all these little fucking curveballs. And my saying to myself, because I said I talk to myself all the time, is I literally say out loud, I said, not today. And that's my little win. When these voices pop up in my head, I smile and I just say, not today. Like you are not beating me today, and that's all I'm worrying about is today, right? When these suggestions come up that are so nice, it's just not today. Like you are not winning me today. And when you view your internal thoughts as like beings, right? And you have a good being and a bad being within your subconscious. And you know internally that that good being is going to push you for an amazing life. And you have this bad being that's going to push you for nothing. Just look at that bad being and say, nah, man, don't fuck with me, man. Because if you had a friend that day after day after day after day pushed you to be nothing, said you can't do that, said just sit on your couch and be lazy, said don't work out, don't be your best self, don't take care of yourself.
You'd cut that person off quick.
You'd say, get the fuck out of my life, bro. Why are you calling me?
Right.
But when it's your internal brain, you say, that's not a bad idea. Well, why the fuck are you listening to it like that?
Yeah.
So for me, in my head, when I break it out as that simple, when you have these things pulling at your attention subconsciously, realize that those are two different voices and make the straight and narrow simple. Like you said, you say you're going to do something, fucking do it. And over the course of time, that self-respect, that self-love, some people call it confidence, it's all the same shit. It just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And what is that? That's the boss voice. That's the angel on your shoulder because it keeps getting stronger. So when you're at the bar and you're 50 days sober and someone offers you a shot, you with a smile on your face, you say, nah, I'm good. Right. And then, behind closed doors, I say, not today. You thought you was going to have me. Not today. And that's just the small wins that keep adding up. Like Charlie Rocket says, that's a winning streak. And that winning streak just keeps getting stronger and stronger. And it's a compounding interest on that. So now I sit looking at you. I'm down 35 pounds. I feel the best I've felt in my life. I feel the most confident I've felt in so long. I'm able to give so much more to my fiance. I'm able to give so much more to my friends in my business. All through struggle, all through hardship, all through shit that at the time I didn't want to do. Today I was doing sprints outside. It's the first time I ran in a while. For my second workout, typically for 75 hard, I just do a 45-minute really brisk walk. Like I try to almost jog almost, but it's a very brisk walk. I don't like running. I'm a fat boy at heart. I just fucking hate it. But today I said, listen, I'm gonna push it a little bit. I feel this confidence. I feel good today. I'm gonna do some sprints, some runs. So I did 600-meter sprints with a 400-meter walk in between, and it was horrible, shitty. On the second one, I'm on the walk back, like the walk back, and a voice in my head said, "Man, you're killing it today, bro. Killing it. You did more than you did yesterday. Walk the last 4. You're straight, bro. You did 2 more sprints than you did yesterday." And I laughed and I said, "You stupid motherfucker. You thought you was slick. Not today." And I ran the 4 more. Right? Again, fat blob, 2.4 GPA, college dropout. I am nothing special, yo. And I have so much to learn and so much more trials and tribulations to go through. But all I do know is that I am priming my fucking mind to deal with all that shit when it comes to me. Right? I know the world is going to throw so much shit at my way. And I'm not going to get anxiety about that. But what I am going to do is going to work every single day at making my mind and body as strong as possible. So when that shit does come, because it will, when you're doing good, shit's going to fly at you. I'm going to be ready for it as much as I possibly can. I'm going to look at that shit and say, not today. I'm going to look at that shit and say, listen, I'm doing so well. Fuck off. And that's what makes me excited. That I'm at this point now, right? I'm 3 months into this consistency and I feel this way. What's it going to be like in 6 months? What's it going to be like in a year, right? What's it going to be like in 2 years? So that's what I get excited about, man. Ultimately, I feel like my purpose on this world is to educate, inspire, maybe entertain some people, but show people that someone with my hand in the cards I was dealt is able to do what the fuck I am. Why can't you? Why can't you? I am nothing special, yo. Yeah, I have confidence, but I have confidence because I worked on myself. It was developed. Right? That confidence and that self-respect is a muscle. That discipline is a muscle, and you have to work it. You have to work it every single fucking day. And it's so ironic because that muscle is so hard to gain, but so easy to lose. And that easy to lose could be a cheat meal. That easy to lose could be a drink at a bar. That easy to lose could be that one girl that you saw out from Instagram when you're in a happy relationship and said, why not? I'll just go up and talk to her for a bit. So that easy to lose comes to you in waves from that devil. And he says, yeah, I think I got him. Nah, not today. So that's what I want to preach to you guys today is like, and I know this does come off preachy, but I feel this conviction to say this shit when I feel this way I do because I want others to feel this same way. Feel the same way of you could do whatever the fuck you want to do in life. That feel the same way of conquering any mission or thing that you want to conquer. Because ultimately you can. on all my like posts and things I try to do inspirationally, I always say I believe in you, and I do. Anything you want to do, I believe in you. But yet again, that's the external. You have to believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. No words, positive or negative, can make you do anything. You have to do it, right? You are ultimately the king of your kingdom, and you have to decide which way you need to go. Stop focusing on the external and start focusing on what you can control and the internal, right? Work that muscle every fucking day and become the best human you can. And you realize that the more you do this hard shit and the more you push and grow that muscle, the better person you are to the world. And that external will start to flood in so much more positive. And yeah, I'll be nice. Like, for instance, when I get compliments of my physique now being more thin and chiseled, whatever it is, right? It means a lot to me. But you know what means everything to me? When I look at myself in the mirror, when I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning, I say, man.
What you say to yourself.
That's it. That's everything. You know, I'm so proud of you. And that's why it killed me when I looked at myself in the mirror 6 months ago and I said, why the fuck are you like this, man?
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's what confidence really is at the end of the day. There's probably a lot of really good-looking people
Correct.
to the appearance that have plenty of insecurities and things that they are self-conscious about. At the end of the day, confidence is when you can look yourself in the mirror and know that you're completely happy with yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, I guess. You know, the way you treat people, the way you treat yourself.
Correct.
The way you follow through on the things that you say you want to do.
Because ultimately, insecurities is just a cousin of the devil, right? It's the devil in a different form, and meaning it will never go away. Your insecurities will always be there, but the way you beat down your insecurities and the way you shut them up is by working, right? So yeah, I look in the mirror and say, man, I'm not at the physique I want to be yet, right? I have a lot more work to do. But today I did everything I possibly can. So now I walk out the door with a swagger because I did everything I possibly can to shut that insecurity up. So what the fuck else can I do? Nothing, right? But he still has no voice because I just feel better, right? And these, and it's also, there's a chemical element too. These endorphins that get released when you're doing well, these dopamine hits that you get when you succeed and you win. Right, that's real shit, and that's real shit that happens in your brain. So when you start to feel better and feel like a more human, that's why. You know, all this external shit, it gets thrown away between social media and the world and all this stuff, right? It's just throwing you off of that track. So in the end of the day, enjoy yourself, but realize that I believe you are truly your happiness when you're fulfilling your why, your reason.
Right. And that's different for everyone. That's the best part. Everything you just said pertains to anyone, whether they're overweight, underweight. They would need, even if weight has nothing to do with your insecurities or any of your problems. Everything you just said still applies to whatever the goal is or whatever the changes are.
If you have social anxiety and you're terrified of going out and talking to strangers, right? When you're in the elevator with someone during the day, just say, hi, my name is Nick. It's nice to meet you. Listen, I was blessed with this ability to talk to a wall, right? I know it's weird. I talk to myself. I know it's weird. So that's never been a struggle for me. But I do understand the struggle, and I do understand the anxiety that comes along with that. But what I'm saying is doing nothing about it, I for fucking sure know that's not going to help. Mm-hmm. And maybe just slowly chipping away at it every single day over the course of a year might just. Mm-hmm. So why just sit back and let this shit happen to you as if this is it. This is me. This is who I am.
Damn, dude, I love that you just put it that way. You can't let it happen to you. You're in control. But too many people, I think, go into autopilot because, you know, the bitch on their shoulder convinces them that they don't want to do the things they said they were going to do today. And they just let life happen to them.
That's it.
Instead of taking charge and deciding what your life is going to be. Because you do have that power to decide what your life's going to be.
You know how many times I thought to myself, man, I love myself. I'm the funny fat kid. Right? I won class clown in high school. I won life of the party.
And just embraced the current situation.
Everyone finds me funny. I'm lovable. I'm happy-ish. Yeah. Right? To the world I was. All that stuff.
Right.
But when I walked home at night, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. So ultimately, who the fuck was I living for? These people who cared about me? Or was I living for myself? Right. And that was the reality, is that was me. That was my identity. That was my temperature on the thermostat, right? That's what it was.
It's like a false confidence. Where everyone around you is saying, yeah, we fucking love Nick. You know, when you were Big Nick, everyone still loved Big Nick. You know, you were the fucking man. Everyone loved you. Maybe not the man in the way that you wanted to be.
Yeah.
But no one was thinking like Nick's a fucking douchebag because he's a big fat guy. You know, like everyone loved you. You were great still. You know, you were all of our friends. No one needed you to lose weight for you to remain that. You know, but for yourself to be happy, you knew what you needed to do in order to get to that point. Which it had nothing to do with the gratification of what others are saying to you.
Correct. Which drives the point of what I said: external, bad or good, doesn't affect you. Right. Yeah, it's nice to get a compliment. Yeah, it's nice to get a token or a trophy. But does it really, really, really fulfill you? It doesn't, bro. The only person that could fill your cup is yourself. And when that cup is filled by the external, there's holes at the bottom. So it will be there for a small amount of time. But when you check back on it, it's going to be empty. Right? Because it goes so fast. So your external is going out and getting drunk or high or anything, right? You wake up in the next morning and you're not fulfilled. You're like, fuck, why, man? I thought that was it. It's not it, bro. Because you're relying on the external shit to fucking happen for you and to you. So I know we're all feeling some type of way where it's like, this is who I am. I love myself-ish. And again, I talk about my weight, but it could be your acne, it could be your job, it could be your religious beliefs, it could be your family, it could be anything to you. Whatever that is to you, fight it. Because all of our insecurities are different, but what I do know is we're all similar in the fact that we all have them. So what we do about it is ultimately a huge similarity in the fact of, do we attack them, do we hide from them, do we run from them, do we just shrug our shoulders and say that's it? So, that's what I have today as far as that, guys. I know that sometimes in life you feel like you're alone and you feel like these problems are simply your own. And they are. And you got to deal with your shit. Mm-hmm. But know that we all have our own problems and we're all dealing with our own shit and we're all going through it. Yeah. And that the people who you look at and you're like, wow, that guy's doing good. All he's doing about his problems is he's fighting them. All you're doing about your problems is you're running from them. That's the only fucking difference. And that is something I want to continue to drive home is like, man, I'll say it all the time. I'm nothing extraordinary, but I'm doing the extraordinary, right? Mm-hmm. So what we do within this life is our choice for ourselves. What happens to us is not, but it's your responsibility to control that, take full ownership of it, and then run with that shit. So that's kind of my. That
was so well said, man.
Thanks, man.
So I just realized I called you Big Fat Nick, and I hope that wasn't horribly offensive.
It was not, man. It was not. Listen, bro. And the cool thing is,
you know what I meant, right?
Yeah. Fuck you.
God damn, dude.
Writing that in my journal tomorrow.
I started sweating as soon as I said it. Like, why did I just use that?
I'm grateful.
I've been watching too much Jeff Wittick.
I'm grateful that Pete called me fat yesterday.
God damn it, dude.
But I am. I'm grateful to be in this position, guys, where I could happily tell you that I'm doing stuff. You know, in the first part of this podcast, the first 4, 5, 6 months of it, you know, it was really hard for me to come on here and talk about discipline and talk about being better and talk about doing all this stuff when I wasn't living it. And yeah, there would be little spurts of it, little 2-week segments, little week here, week there, day there, where I would feel inspired and I would talk about it and do that. But wasn't my whole being? No, it wasn't. So while I haven't done this in a while, I was kind of pushing it back to the point where I innately felt that I needed to. And that was today. Yesterday, I went on a 45-minute walk, and I talked to myself out loud for 45 minutes. I gave this kind of speech to myself. And within that was a lot of the things I noted on today. And I just felt like I needed to say this out to the world because maybe, just maybe, one person will pick it up and say, damn, that's some shit.
Bro, I feel like without a doubt that's going to happen because me even just sitting here right now listening to this, it's like, as a person who feels I have my shit somewhat together, I'm motivated to be better tomorrow just from listening to that, bro.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
So, guys, I think today's segment's going to, this part of the podcast is going to be short and sweet to the point, you know.
I mean, you just nailed it, I think.
Throughout all the other ones in the future, guys, we're going to roll over this stuff and talk about it and continue, as I've said so many times, just put the nails on this coffin because it's so important to talk about these subjects. Mm-hmm. But today, I wanted to keep it simple and relatable and hopefully hit some chords on your heartstrings to make a change. Yeah. When's the perfect time to make a change? There's never a perfect time. That shit's going to be hard regardless.
It's right now.
It's right
when you
fucking
hear
now.
This and you're feeling inspired, right now is the time to make the change, and you got to decide, there's no going back. I'm making the change.
So if it's 7 p.m. on a Monday night when you're listening to this, and after you listen to this, you set your alarm for the next morning to wake up and go to the gym, right? And that next morning, right, that Tuesday morning, the alarm goes off, and you think, nah, man, not today. I'll do it tomorrow. Who's that talking? Mm-hmm. Who's that talking? That's simply the devil on your shoulder telling you, nah, not today. Yeah. Well, look at that motherfucker. Tell him to shut the fuck up. Get up out of bed. Roll to the gym. Crush life, man. Continue to win. It's just that small little snowball at the top of the hill that becomes a fucking avalanche, right? You have the power to create the momentum to do whatever you want in life. So do it. All right? Yeah. I love you guys. Reach out if you have any questions or anything. You need some love or support, or again, I can give that to you, but ultimately you're going to be able to do that for yourself. I can't cultivate that for you. So on behalf of Pete and I, that's our little segment today, Millennial Mentality. We love you guys. Thank you for watching, listening, and viewing, and subscribing. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Fuck yeah, bro. That was so good, man.
Thanks, man.
That was really good. How much? Like, was that most of your speech that you were saying yesterday? That was great.
It was the best thing I've ever said in my life. That was like 4 times better than this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really.
Was it the same like topic? You just.
Ish. Yeah. Dude, I was on a roll yesterday because the main pillars of what I talked about were the same, but the way I tied it all in together yesterday was perfect. And the fact that like I said, self-respect is confidence. Confidence is self-respect. The only way you get self-respect is through discipline. The only way you get discipline is through doing hard shit every day. Everything's a full circle, right?
Yeah.
The way you do hard shit every day is dissecting what you're lacking in, right, and attacking that. Dissecting what you're lacking in what you're attacking.
Keep talking into the microphone, because you might say some fire shit.
So, like I said, it was just full circle. I talked a lot about the devil and the angel on your shoulder and how to view that in real time. How to break down your subconscious, which is ultimately 99% of what we do every single day is our subconscious.
Yeah,
slow that down and realize what's happening in life. Like I said, the best NFL quarterbacks, when they're at a point of elite levels, they say the game just slows down. Nothing's different, but they're realizing in real time the decisions that they're making, right? That safety drop back, that DB's here, that linebacker came up. This is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm changing accordingly, right? So in your life, as this shit happens to you, and you're able to slow that game down and say, okay, this shit just happened to me. How am I going to coordinate? What's the algorithm I got to do to get to this end result? Yeah. And when you start to plug in those figures and numbers, and you realize that you could still get to the same result, it's just going to be through a different path, do that. And for some reason, bro, people have such a hard time believing in themselves. I did this analogy the other day too, right? So if you're on a path, right, you're hiking in the hills, and you see a sign that says follow this path to the exit. You walk that path. It takes a weird turn to the left, and you thought the exit was to the right. Right. But you walk down that path, and you're like, damn, man, why am I going over here? And I'm going up. I should be going down. I should have been there 45 minutes ago. But you walk another half mile, and it says exit straight to the right, right? And you keep walking straight, and there's a slight dog leg to the right. And then you walk another half mile, and there's another exit sign, exit straight ahead. You walk straight, there's another sign, exit to the left. What this is getting to is you think you have a certain path, right, that it's going to be some type of way. And you have this depiction of what it's going to be. And you keep getting signs from the world that you're on the right path. I'm losing weight. I'm gaining friends. My relationship is stronger. But it's not the path I thought in my head. I thought I was going to lose weight in a week, but it's been 2 weeks. What the fuck? I got to get off this path. And the moment you get off that path, you're fucking lost. Right. So realize that the path is going to be so much more fucked up than you think it is. But ultimately, that last sign before you jumped off the path was exit in 20 feet. And you just jumped off right before you got to that sign. Sure. So realize that these signs that are right in front of you, read them and believe them. Because if you were on that path at a national state park, you would believe exits in fucking half mile. Boom, I'm there. So why don't you believe it when it's happening to yourself? I look in the mirror and I'm getting thinner. But that's not good enough. Yeah, I know it's not good enough. But why am I going to stop or change what I'm doing? I'm on the right path. So believe that. right?
Yeah.
Audit yourself in the bad ways of what you could fix, but also audit yourself in the good ways of what's going well.
Right.
Yeah, it's not going to be the plan. Nothing's the fucking plan, bro.
Right.
A plan's only a plan because it's a dream and a vision and we're writing shit down. That's all the fuck it is. An original business plan compared to reality is going to be two way different things. But the businesses that succeed and the businesses that don't succeed are the ones that when they get pulled down the path in a different way, they jump off the fucking path. The ones that keep following the signs and keep going and never fucking quit, get to the exit. What's the difference, man? It's belief. It's belief that you're on the right path. It's belief in yourself. How do you get that belief? Through confidence, through doing hard shit, through discipline. It's all full circle, bro. It's all right there.
Yeah.
How do you get that shit? You do hard shit every day.
Yeah.
You push away the bad voices. You push away that negative self-talk. And you say, listen, bro, I'm doing everything I can to be the best person I can every fucking day. Fuck you, devil. Get the fuck out of here. Not today. Not today. And that winning streak, day after day after day after day, you look back and you say, holy fuck, look what I've done. Now 50 days in, I'm able to look back and say, holy shit, I've lost 35 pounds. I feel indestructible. I feel like a fucking god. I feel like I have so much more to learn, but boy, am I going to learn that shit with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Try me, motherfucker. What's that devil going to do today? What is he going to do? I'm happy for it. Come at me, bitch.
Try me.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not today. And tomorrow, when you wake up and you're sore and tired from me whooping your ass last night, and you think you slick by throwing a donut from a coworker under my belt, right? Throwing a pimple on my face when I have a big meeting that day, right? Or my girl being on her period and for some reason the chemicals are off in her body and she's negative, trying to throw that in my path. Not today, right? You have to realize this shit. Realize your goals and your vision. And realize that you're worth so much, but only you could accumulate that worth. Only you could accumulate that worth. So put money in that pot every single day.
Okay, dude, I'm so glad I told you to speak into the mic.
Cry with me, yeah. Pour juice inside the soda, turn it over, watch it sink. Yeah. Sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Rather flip a boat, but nigga, I still serve a zip. I remember being broken, I was down bad on my dick. And she used to call me Ollie, now lil' shawty let me hit. Wait, well maybe it's just Bully, got a nigga confident. Remember all them dreams that I had when I was legit. They're like, yeah, I love the streets, but I'm still gon' go legit. Cause you know I need that German with that brand new fucking tip. Fell in love with them foreigns, watching a nigga Euro step. Got me feeling like I'm hardened, cause I'm plugged in with the rep. That like, if you touch me wrong, you might get hit with this tech. Let them birds fly like a nigga causing rest. And I swear they broke my heart when I seen them. But that shit, it made me strong, now I'm right back on my best. Like bitches, leave me alone, why I get linked on this tech. Like little bitches, leave me alone, unless you gonna drop that neck. Like little bitches, leave me alone, unless you talking about a check. Pour juice inside the soda, turn it over, watch it sink. Yeah, sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Pour juice inside the soda, turn it over, watch it sink. Yeah, sometimes it might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Yeah.